This is Big Podcast.
It's Big Podcast Playbook. David Hooper here. BigPodcast.com is the website. This is the marketing podcast for podcasters. It's beyond marketing. It's really to help you grow an audience. It's to help you get your content leveled up, make something that people care about, make something that when people hear it, they're going to come back and listen to it again. They're going to tell their friends. If you stop making it, they're going to wonder why. They're going to reach out to you and say, why aren't you making this? They're not going to just disappear, go find something else. They're going to come back to you because you've got something special. So if you're interested in that, you're in the right place. This is a special episode. It involves a little bit of tech. So I'm going to do something different than I normally do, including how I'm recording it. So let me run down that first. And then we're going to get into the subject, which is Audacity 4. It is coming. I'm recording into the alpha version now. I think you should pay attention to this. Even if you're not an Audacity person, you're going to get some ideas on one, how software is developed, but also ways that you can make your podcast workflow better. And let me give an example of that, just to tease out why I think you should pay attention. I've got a background in the music industry. One of the techniques that songwriters use when they're feeling stuck, when things just aren't working, like, another 3 chords on the guitar, whatever, they're going to switch keys, they're going to switch instruments, they're going to switch styles. This is basically switching instruments. So you're going from the equivalent of guitar to piano. If you're recording in, I don't know how you record. I talked to somebody today, he said he's recording in GarageBand. It's the built-in Mac program or some kind of program that comes with your hosting. That's one way to do it. One of the things about Audacity is it gives you so much more control over what you're recording. Even if you record something in a different way, let's say it's Zoom. The most basic of the basic way to record an interview. You bring it in Audacity, you can edit it, you can manipulate it. Anyway, having a DAW such as Audacity is worth your while. So let's talk about Audacity 4, why I think it's important to you. Audacity is one of those tools, and they're on 3.7.5. I think that's the version they've got now. It's been going on for 20-something years. I've used it for 20-something years. I think it's great, but it's got a reputation because it's open source and free, and anybody can get it, and anybody can say they're using it, but not really be trained on it, that it's not a serious tool. And there are some things about the Audacity that's currently out, the 3.7.5, that I would agree with. It's not like Pro Tools. It's not like Audition, which, by the way, I use every single week in the production that I do. But when it comes to my favorite DAW, I'm going to go ahead and call it a DAW, digital audio workstation. My favorite way to record and edit podcast, it is Audacity. It's really not that bad. If this is not the first time you've ever listened to this podcast, you have heard Audacity 3. It's a great program, but it's limited. Again, it was open source, and you can't really build on open source like you would something that's planned out, something that has a team, something that has a big budget, because it's spaghetti code. Basically, there's a patch for this, a fix for this, somebody contributes this. It doesn't have the organization. Well, now it does. Audacity 4 has that. It's a modern engine. It's a modern workflow. This rewrite, it's going to give you cleaner performance, fewer weird legacy issues that have to be worked out. When one thing changes, everything else breaks. And it's going to give you a real DAW. It is becoming a real digital audio workstation, meaning things like plugin support, things like if you change something, it's not what they call destructive, where it's changed forever. There's a change that we'll call it lays on top of whatever original audio you've got. And if you don't like that change, even if it's 20 minutes later, even if it's 50 changes later, you can go back and change whatever you don't like to whatever you do. That's a big issue here. The plugin potential, it leveled up in a big way. And by the way, plugins that I use, I'm using RX11, some great tools by Isotope. That's really what gets me the sound that I'm using. Speaking of this sound, I'm going into a Focusrite Vocaster 1, straight into it with a Shure SM57. So if you think you need expensive equipment to sound great, this is about, I don't know, $150 worth of equipment, definitely under 200. And I'm going straight into Audacity 4, which, if you don't know, is free. Audacity 3 is free. The new alpha version, which you can test, and I'm going to talk about why I think that's important for you to look at and test and see what they're doing. That is free. This is why I think you need to check out Audacity for, and this is how to do it. audacityteam.org/next. It is the alpha version, not even the beta version. It is raw. Basically, it lets you record, maybe a little bit of editing. I can amplify the signal, but not a lot of stuff with plugins, not a lot of the big edits, not a lot of the multi-track stuff. I'm going in with one track. I'm just testing the thing out just to see what it looks like. But this is going to give you an idea of the interface. And this is also, if you go to audacityteam.org and look at this alpha version, this is going to give you an idea of how this software is put together. Not just this software, but any DAW, any audio or podcasting software. It's going to let you see sausage getting made. That way, when the real release version comes out, maybe a month or two, I don't know. I think they're pretty close. Of course, I said that about the book that I'm working on. Sometimes things take a little bit longer than you realize, but I do think they're months away, not years away. And related to that, it is going to give you an opportunity to go on the Audacity 4 forum and say, as a podcaster, here's what I can use. This is how I do my workflow. These are the features that would help me with my podcast. Can you add these to Audacity 4? They are developing it right now. Start the conversation. See what these other guys are talking about. You're going to get ideas of their workflows. You're going to get an idea of what goes into the software that you and I use on a daily or at least weekly basis. However often you do a podcast, you're using a tool like this pretty frequently. This is going to let you know what goes into it. And it's an opportunity to get in there and help these guys do it. Get in there, break it, report it, shape it. Your voice matters. Even if you do this as a hobby, you are making podcasts. They need people who make podcasts to give opinions on this tool. It's going to make it better for everybody. I do like this. I don't like this. Can you add more of this, a little less of this? They're listening to you. I think it's important that we have a good, free, open source DAW that actually works for pro podcast workflows. I believe in podcasting. And one of the big reasons why is because I can sound like this with $150 worth of equipment and free software that hasn't even been perfected yet. It hasn't been released. It's just the alpha version. Imagine what happens when it is released. And imagine if you find bugs or if you suggest a feature that gets added. Both those things are going to help you and they're going to help other podcasters. So if you want to participate in this, it's audacityteam.org/next. Whether you're an Audacity fan like me, you've been using it for years and you use it all the time, or you're somebody who's heard about Audacity and maybe you haven't checked it out, or maybe you checked it out a long time ago and you're thinking, no, I'll just pay Adobe or I'll use Pro Tools. I want something a little more polished. I think you're going to be impressed by this. If nothing else, is going to get you in the discussion. And I'm not talking about the discussion on audacityteam.org. I'm talking about the discussion among podcasters. Podcasters are flipping out about this. They are excited. If you look up Audacity 4 on YouTube, podcasters are thrilled about it. So check it out, audacityteam.org/next. That's going to do it. You know what I'm going to say now, right? Yeah. I'm going to get you to subscribe. It's bigpodcast.com/subscribe. If you like this and you want more from me, bigpodcast.com/subscribe. That is where to go. That is how to do it. One click is all it takes. If you're on an iPhone, an Android device, you want an RSS feed, one click. Choose between one of those three. I will get you set up. You will never miss an episode. We've got more great content coming about how to grow an audience, keep an audience, keep people coming back, make something that people care about, and make something that people would miss if it disappeared. You in? Great. Bigpodcast.com/subscribe. And I'll see you on the next episode of Big Podcast Playbook.